have your fear, which might become reality. And you have Godzilla, which is reality.
I'm sick of Godzilla. Wake up, everyone! There are two things you don't know about the Earth. One is me, and the other is Godzilla.
We're safe enough. No human being can understand that. The monsters on Monster Island can understand it.
Whether he returns or not, or is never again seen by human eyes, the things he has taught us remain.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to YHS on Monster Island. Were we here Are we out of time? We did this.
We did. We talked
like
designer toys and like who we're most excited about.
Oh,
don't you remember that,
dude?
You haven't done anything since then.
I do remember it, but for some reason, it feels like it was a month ago. I don't know. It feels like it was long. Anyway, we're here. I'm your host, Jacob Walsh. With me is Jay Key. Jay, how you doing, man?
Good. I learned your name since the last one after you introduced yourself.
Okay.
So I'm very good. I knew your name. If you'd
the whole time, you're like,
oh, yeah, I'm like, now I know. Hey, first off, and most importantly, congratulations over the 2 weeks. You and your crew over there at Yes Have Some, YHS Prime, whatever we want to call it, the mothership. You guys sold out a show in New York City for Ghostbusters Day. You had special guests. I saw you kind of red carpeting it, interviewing people at the firehouse. It was awesome.
We didn't know that was happening until the day before.
It was amazing. It was amazing.
Thank you, Jay. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. We did, for those who might only listen to this show and not other YHS shows. This weekend was Ghostbusters Day. We went to New York. We did a show at Rodney's. Rodney Dangerfield's comedy club. It was a really cool place, and it was sold out, which I was so nervous about, it not selling out. And McKenna Grace and Eric Wright came, and we did some interviews. Geek Dad Jay was there. We talked about some toy talk, and it was a good weekend, man. Like the day before, we got a message from Eric, and he was like, "Hey, you guys are gonna interview McKenna Grace, Carrie Coon, and Jason Reitman on Saturday." And we were like, "What?" So we were like, "Okay, we could do that." We didn't even know Carrie Coon was
noted Godzilla fan. Carrie Coon.
Yeah. Well, dude, I told Craig and Abby I wanted to bring up Godzilla to her, but like we didn't have a ton of time, and it was like, it's Ghostbusters. It would have been weird to bring up something else. But the only question I had for Carrie Coon was like, let's talk about Godzilla versus Biollante. But it was really cool, man. We got to like hang out inside of the firehouse, talk to these people, and do some interviews and some toy unboxing in front of the firehouse, and it was cool. It was a good time, dude.
It was awesome. The interviews were great. What I've seen, because I am a Patreon member for YHS.
Thank you.
I got to see the actual show at Rodney's. Was amazing. So good stuff, dude. Congrats. That is I mean, you guys have been doing it for a while, and you've done some really cool stuff, but that had to be right up there at the top. It was really neat.
It felt like a family thing, and like, I do not like to like toot my own horn or any of that kind of stuff. It always feels weird, but like Jason Reitman and like Eric Reich and McKenna Grace, like they're like friends of ours at this point. You know what I mean? It's like, it's just, it's always a good interaction. They're always cool. They seem to like talking to us, and it was really cool to see this, man. This sounds like kind of asshole-ish, but I'm gonna say it. Good. It was really cool to watch Jason Reitman do interviews ahead of us, and like, he doesn't know these people. He's just like, putting on his
professional business.
Putting on his professional business face. And then when it's our turn, he hugs us. You know what I mean? Like we get hugs, and he's like, "Guys, what?" It's like he kind of drops his shoulders a little bit. And he's like, "What's up, dudes?" And that's awesome. I love that. So it was a very fun weekend.
Yeah, and you can tell, you guys, in the interviews, you can tell that you guys have a great rapport with these people. Yeah. And even Carrie Coon, who I know you guys haven't met before.
We interviewed her once before, but it's like one of those things where she doesn't remember that. She's not like, "Oh, I remember that it was a one-time thing."
But that interview with her and McKenna, like that was, you would have thought that she goes on your podcast every other week. Like, I mean, it was great.
She's a good we would love to get her on the show because she's a very good interviewee. You know, like she just has a lot to say. So it was awesome. Yeah, it was a good time.
Well, congrats again, man. Congrats again. Now I know Ghostbusters is great, but and Murray and Aykroyd and all these, you know, Ramis, like they're great. But tonight, though, we get to talk about somebody that they're down here compared to Doug McClure. Because I mean, like, it's a Doug McClure episode, guys. It's a Doug McClure one, yes.
It definitely is. We're going to talk about Warlords of Atlantis, a movie I have never heard of in my fucking life until Jay said this is the next episode. We're going to get there in a little bit. I think we do have a little bit of news, a little bit of toy talk, a little bit of pickups.
Actually, I have one more question for you, man.
Yeah.
Before we get into that, I know you guys drove to New York, and it's a long drive. And you had a lot of time, and you had some time in the hotel rooms because you know, like you're out there doing lots of things. You're there for more than a couple of days. Did you watch Shin Kamen Rider? You thought I forgot?
Hey, I thought about it, and I just didn't.
That might have to be a G Fest.
We
might have to watch.
Okay, that'd be cool. Yeah. Hey, I did watch. I went last week. I went kayaking, and Hal Clay had to spend the night at my house. We had to get up really early, and we were waiting on our other friend Mike to show up so we can leave. And we were just like kind of hanging out. So I put on Return of Ultraman, and we watched the 2-part episode with Gudon and the egg, the twin tail egg. And I was like, hey, why don't they just let the Gudon eat the twin tail egg while it's still an egg? It's like they're trying to stop him. Just let him fucking eat it, and then you only have one monster. You gotta. It's like why are they protecting the twin tail egg? Just let him fucking. I don't know. But that's a good episode because it's like those are. That's a good 2 episodes. There's a lot going on, and you know, those are 2 kaiju that, you know, stand the test of time. So it was it was a fun episode to watch.
Yeah, you and I also love like when you get like the kaiju on kaiju battles and action within an Ultra, because a lot of times it's like Ultraman versus kaiju,
right?
And I like that when you have that element as well. But yeah, those are, I mean, Gudon and Twin Tail especially, like just such iconic creatures, and that's I think that 2-parter is one of the better installments in Return of Ultraman.
Yeah, okay,
that's a good one to watch.
Yeah, it was good.
And I like Hideki Go. And honestly, even by then, I would say by that episode, I don't even know if it's kind of hit its stride yet with like really, I think Jirodon and how he portrays Hideki Go. I think it even gets more complex and better as the series goes on.
I liked it a lot because he like quits in that episode.
Yep.
You know, he like there's a lot of drama going on, and he's like, "Fuck this, man." He quits, and it was cool. He's like getting bullied, and
that's the one thing about, I think, Return, because, you know, obviously Shin Hayata and Ultraman is so like, you know, very sterile, right? Like, I mean, and it's done that way. So like, you know, I think like you could envision yourself as Ultraman, and like you kind of like feel, you're almost part of the SSSP. And then Dan Miraboshi in Ultra 7, even though Ultra 7 is, I think, still the best in the whole Ultra series. Dan he does make some mistakes, but then end of the day, like he is by far like the most competent of all of the members, and makes the least amount of mistakes, but really different than Shin Hayata. But then Hideki Go, like early on, those early episodes, you're like, this guy's like not good. Like he sucks. And he's like, and in a good way. And like you grow with him. And I think that's what Return's best traits are, more so than the monsters and the battle and some of the other storylines. I think Hideki Go's progression is of the show era, one of the best of the leads.
Yeah, I'm excited to keep, like, you know, get through it. I just been throwing it on here and there, so it's good. And it feels good.
You can do that. I love that shows that you can do that. You know, like
exactly.
Or Friends or whenever you just throw it on.
Exactly. It is. Ultraman is a lot like Seinfeld. We should do an episode like that.
Yes.
Which characters You know, is Jerry Ultraman? Maybe.
Well, hey, honestly, like I would say, you could redo like the original concept of Ultraman with like the SSSP, but do it in like the mockumentary Office style.
Yeah.
And you have like, and you see like the captain, man, Shin, where does he go all these times? I mean, it's gonna be amazing.
Hell yeah.
But anyway,
should we do some pickups?
You do some pickups? Let's do some pickups.
Okay.
Let's see. I think I got a few. Do you have a few?
I do.
They love that sweet sound vinyl. Get it as much as they can. Sometimes it's a glitter Godzilla, and sometimes it's Vector Man. For those best exclusives, it's gonna cost lots again. And let's hope that Sofubi is off their holiday top 10. Yeah, we got kaiju pickups. Oh, what a glorious day. Oh, kaiju pickups. Now back to Jake and Jake.
Hey yo. Okay.
Hell yeah.
I'll start it off, man. I got
Do it.
something that now we've talked a lot about and gone back and forth on like buying toys that are from movies we don't like because the toys are better, or buying or just buying things because they're from a movie we like, or buying stuff that has no property attached to it whatsoever.
Yeah.
And all of that's great. I bought, and I think I do this one the least now. I bought something. This toy does not fit in my collection. This toy doesn't have any whatever, but I had to buy it because it is from one of my favorite movies that doesn't have an extensive toy line. And I have most everything that they've done, which is very small. But this was a recent release from X Plus, their Toho Maniacs, the Bandai partnership from Orochi the Eight-Headed Dragon, Yamato Takaru, the warrior god himself, Utsuno Akusagami. I had to get this one in the 6-inch scale. No sword. But I put him next to the original Bandai one, and it looks great because that's all I got are the Bandai collection, and then some other odds and ends things. But I pre-ordered this a long time ago. Totally forgot, and it showed up. I was like, I'm getting something from Awesome Collector. I'm like, I haven't bought anything from Awesome Collector in a long time, and I was like, oh, this guy. But yeah. So yeah, I was really kind of excited to get him. Just to, anytime I get anything Yamato Takaru, whether it's a laser disc or a commemorative coin, I don't care. That movie
is so fun and
weird.
I will always stand by that. All of the designs of everything in that movie are great. Like I love it. That's awesome pickup.
Lightsabers, Wear Magic, Power Rangers,
hell yeah,
King Ghidorah, everything. Okay, so the next thing, I love it. I love these next pickups. These are super fun. I think the first one is I like Marusan Godzilla 1989. I don't know if you know that. I do like those. And I did get a new one, and so I had to kick one out because I can't have more than 89. The foundation of civilization as we know it would crumble. But this is something that we see a lot in almost every company does it. Bandai I know has done it. X Plus does it. Gigabrain, Passion Tank, Saru Jirushi, everybody. They love doing a colorway that is an homage to the old green and red Popey design. And Marusan has not done that with the 89s until now. So I had to grab this guy. So
that's kind of shocking.
Yeah, they haven't done with 89. So here's the red and green, the vintage Popey style. And so I love that colorway, and I love what this is like, represents and stuff. So I had to grab this one, and I booted out one of my glitter ones that is you have to compare it to another one.
Like the toenails are a different color.
Yeah.
Hey, what's that taste like?
What's this one?
It just looks like you could eat that.
Yeah, it's fruit roll up style. Yeah, very good.
That's
it's very good. Right. But no, it's great. I love this guy,
beautiful.
And yeah, so I was able to add him.
Cool.
The other two are very different. Okay, me and you. We've talked about how like Caractix does so many cool stuff. They do so much cool stuff. They do so many cool, fun, silly, cute renderings of our favorite kaiju, and they do a lot of the tanks. Like like they have the Minya with the Gigan helmet on in the tank. They have the Mecha Godzilla tank.
I love those.
But this is one, and remember this Popey colorway. How about Popey Godzilla riding shotgun with him though is little Minya in this tank with the rainbow colored wheels. Treads.
That is amazing.
But yeah, but I love it. It's the Popey colorway on the Godzilla too.
That's amazing, dude.
Yeah, I love this guy.
I love. Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
Caractix is so much good stuff, and they have such they have their style and their vibe down, and they can get away with wacky stuff like this. And it is funny, like people that are new to this, and they associate price with size and stuff, and like some of like I was talking to Ryan Wilhelm about this. Like he has one of the little Minya tanks, and it's like half the size of this, but probably twice as expensive because it's so much harder to find. But it's like just a little Minya little tank. I mean, like these are not big things, but they are packed full of awesomeness. So cool.
There's a lot going on. That's a cool toy.
Yeah. So the last thing I got, speaking of Ultra 7, we were talking about from one of my favorite episodes. It's in my top 10 Ultra 7 episodes. And it's one of those weird ones that I think it only works in Ultra 7. It wouldn't work anywhere else. Where like the main human protagonist or main character, the main focus point is a amateur astronomer named Saburo, and he goes and he meets this guy. So if we wouldn't if I wouldn't have got this, it would have been on my top 10 list, because I've talked about this since they announced it. I didn't know when it was going to hit the market, but it finally did. So Saburo meets a little kid, and the little kid's the only one that believes him about the UFOs and stuff that he's seen in his telescope. And here's the little kid.
Oh man.
But in classic Ultra 7 fashion, he's not really a little kid. He really is Alien Paralinga. And so this is who he's disguised as, the little kid. So this came together. And this is what I was trying to get, when we were talking to the Mondo guys, and I was like, hey, you're doing this Attack All Monsters, All Monsters Attack 3-pack. And, I know the Ichiro, it's hard to get like the likeness and stuff. Just customize this guy and you can make Ichiro. But I love, this is from Marmot. This is a Marmot release.
Okay.
A rare modern licensed Marmot thing, but Paralinga here with the little alien disguise kid. Very cool. Now I just they need to make a Saburo with a telescope, and it'll be great.
I love that kind of stuff, man. Like I had it on my top 10 list this year. More like humanoids or human figures, and that's just cool. That's just fun stuff, man.
Hey, Birdie. Oh, he's so cool. No, but I was so excited when I saw that come out, because like they announced it, I think it was at one of the festivals probably last year.
Yeah.
And I had no idea, because it's not like Marmot is active in doing anything licensed or even really out and about at the events. Like you'll see them do things here and there, and a lot of it is kind of their own stuff, like their own original characters and stuff that they're doing. And it was kind of neat to see that finally pop up. And I was like, oh my God, like I gotta get it. It's so amazing. So anyway, so those are my pickups. A lot of red in these pickups, man. Look at them. Like, what the hell?
Well, you're also wearing a lot of red.
I am wearing red. Look at that. Children's Palace.
Even your hat's got the red.
Oh yeah. Heck yeah. I got the Peagle.
You look like it. You look like an '89 Godzilla tonight.
I know. Look at this. Look at this cool thing. Look at that. That's the Peagle, man.
It's your Griffin.
No, it's half eagle, half panther. It's a Peagle.
Beagle.
Yes.
Okay. That's cool.
I love it. So that's what I got, man. What about you? I know you have some pickups.
Yeah, I got a couple things. I first of all, the first few things I'm going to show off were sent in from a Toy Anxiety listener. So listen, that's never, you guys don't have to do that kind of thing, but like it's always appreciated. Chad Stewart, longtime listener of Toy Anxiety, sent this big box of stuff for me, and man, he sent some like VHS, some books, some like vintage, some like a ton of shit. But there's some Godzilla stuff in there, and
nice.
I want to show the Godzilla stuff off. Fun stuff. I thought these first things I'm going to show. I didn't show these on Toy Anxiety. They're so weird. And at first I was like, oh, cool. Somebody sending me Hot Wheels, something I don't collect, until I realized they're Godzilla Hot Wheels, dude.
Nice.
They're literally like they're the same car in different colors, but it's got Godzilla. It's got the logo. Look at that, dude.
Yeah.
I didn't even know these existed.
Yeah.
And this is just fun. That's just cool.
Oh.
So I'm gonna put those on the shelf.
Hey,
I'll put these on my Monster Island.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Yeah, vacation there. Hey, some of those the Godzilla Hot Wheels are hard to get.
Are they?
So yeah, so we actually have, I don't own any, but my son is a giant monster truck fan.
Yeah.
And he has like he has the small Godzilla monster truck, and then when we were at G Fest, we're trying to find something for him. And like we couldn't think anything. And we go to my good buddy Gary Harmon, who runs Toy Matrix, one of the biggest vendors you'll see at Comic-Con and Star Wars Celebration and Frightmare and everything. But he does G Fest and Kaiju Go and stuff. And he had the big Godzilla monster truck from Hot Wheels. And I was like, we got to get it. So no, they're cool. Amazing. They're real cool. Yeah, heck yeah, man.
They are cool.
Our great send in, Chad.
He also sent these guys in. Now these fit perfectly in my collection. I was really excited to see these. He sent, now I believe these are gotchas. I believe these came from a gotcha machine, but they're the Hamtaro. And he sent 4 different colors. Now these are, so I own one of these already, but it's probably about this big and it's green and it's kind of a squishy plastic. These are hard.
Nice.
They're small. And then he sent the pink one. We got the blue.
I love it.
And then we also got the pink and the yellow there. I love these. These are awesome.
I saw that yellow pop up and I was like, if that's the Hanshin Tigers one with the stripes, I was gonna be like, I'm coming. Chad, I'm sorry. I know you love Jake, but I'm flying out there to Valdosta and stealing it.
It is not. But man, these are so cool.
That's awesome, dude. Those are cool. I love the Hamtaro Godzilla.
I do too.
When you were in Japan, I felt like when we went to all the official Godzilla stores, they had a ton of like the GMK with the Hamtaro, and they had a lot of that crossover there. It was really cool.
There was a ton. So another thing that Chad sent, I just have to show this. This is like an odd product, but I got to show it off because it's amazing. He sent me like a line of Godzilla hot sauces.
Yes.
This one is called Sneak Attack. We got Godzilla.
I love that. Yeah, from the 73. Yeah,
and then we got this Space Astro Crystal.
I love
Space Godzilla, the hot sauce, and
I love it, dude.
Let's see, that's not all, dude. Then we got the Godzilla King of the Salsa.
Of course, he's a king.
Of got some Godzilla salsa there.
I love that.
Last but not least, dude, is Death from Within, Ghostbuster, Blackberry Jam, or Godzilla. Wow. I don't know why I said Ghostbuster.
I thought you were going to say Ghost Pepper.
Godzilla.
Ghostbuster, Ghost Pepper, Godzilla. I love
Godzilla, Blackberry Jam.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
I'm eating this tonight.
I love it. Get some of that Varon vegan bread, and you'll be good to go, man.
I appreciate it. Chad sent a bunch of stuff, man, and I showed some of it off, and I didn't even get to show all of it off last night. I got other stuff I'm gonna save for another episode because it's a big box of stuff. He sent a nice letter along with all that. So
was he the one that sent the silly Frankenstein doll too?
Yeah,
that was awesome.
He sent that's so cool. He sent the Frankenstein. He sent some. Oh, he sent me an Ultraman comic book, but it's over.
Very cool.
It's over there somewhere. Some VHS, some movies, like awesome stuff. Let's see. But that's not all my pickups. I also got. Let's see. Let me open.
Good job to Chad, though. I mean, that's a heck of a haul.
It's good stuff for real. Friend of the show, Attack Peter, had a new print come out, and
yes,
I got his -1. If you can see that,
so good.
It's a good print. But let me be honest. This print's amazing.
Yeah,
but it happened to come with like an extra print.
Yeah,
and the extra print is literally my favorite thing.
Ooh.
I wanted this more than like the other one's amazing.
Yeah,
this is my favorite. And it is.
Oh yes, that one. Yes, you show. Oh my gosh, I forgot you showed me that. That is stunning.
This is so good. this is amazing. Like, and it's, we all know how Peter's work works. He does the carving and it's on this nice, beautiful paper. I
hate
love
that guy
this so much.
He's too talented.
Dude, it's a little annoying sometimes, but this is amazing. Peter, love this.
I think with his style, what I think is like, and we've talked about this with the toys that he makes, how he's able to in that linoleum block style, like he's able to bring a lot of textures and things in there that like you would never think, or like how he makes Mecha Godzilla still look metallic and like a Mecha Godzilla.
Yeah.
The one thing that I've really, and you really captured on the one in the water, like when you think of that, you think of like static images, like here's Takaro or here's Godzilla, but like the movement aspect of
There's
it,
movement.
I think that's really cool. I think that's really neat, and that style you just wouldn't like. The untrained person wouldn't correlate it with it, and I think that's
dude
next world, man.
I'm being 100% honest right here, Peter. If you listen to this episode, I want a Mondo figure of this.
Yeah,
like
I would sell
Peter's style, swimming like this. I want this.
Yes,
in a 3D form that I can put on my pillow at night and sleep next to. Please make this.
I'll buy two.
Make this into a figure.
Yes. That thing would sell like freaking hotcakes.
I agree.
Like hot bread.
I got a couple more things.
Yeah, keep on going, man.
Now, I had, I showed these off on Toy Anxiety. So if you watch Toy Anxiety, these are not new to you. But I said this on Toy Anxiety last night. I have been downward spiraling since coming home from Japan. Like I fucking want to be back in Japan more than anything. And I've been trying to figure out ways to just feel like I'm in Japan. And I think the best way to do that was by buying a gacha machine.
I love it, dude.
Bandai makes official like half scale gacha machines. And I went down a rabbit hole and found out there's different styles. Because this is the newer one. These came out in like 2024. If you go to Japan and see the newer machines, this is what they look like. The older machines are slightly different, not crazy different, but they're different. And Bandai made the older ones too. And I think they're a little harder to find now. Mm-hmm. They came in different colors. But these you can still get on Amazon. So I bought a gacha machine. I got it right here.
Oh, let's check this bad boy out. Look at that.
It's amazing, Jay. I love it. You can go to the website, and the website has a template for the piece of, they have
the header card, whatever that we have.
So it came with one that you can just put in here, but they make templates on the website, so you can put whatever the fuck you want on it, and put it. You can put whatever your favorite machines are. I kind of want to do the Jaws one because they've had Jaws gotchas and put that one here. It came with some balls there, and the coin slot is like a fake coin slot, but like so on the back you pull this little tray out, and it came with it came with plastic coins.
Oh yeah, okay, cool.
So it came with like just plastic yen, basically. Yeah. It's 100 yen. And just when you push it in, it kind of triggers so it can
they
turn.
Just have to buy the tokens. Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
It's and then when you put it, whenever it clicks through, it falls back in the tray. So
I love it.
It's awesome. And these are stackable. Like if you buy a second one, it will fit perfectly like the real machines. You just pull the top off and they stack. And I kind of want a bunch of these. I was like, man, they're just fun. Yeah. It's a good like thing to feel, have a little piece of that Japan with you. Hey, the next thing I'm going to see if I can find a Japanese drink machine to put outside my house. But I think I'll probably take the balls out of here and probably just fill it with like mini kaiju, like
that'd be great.
cashies or whatever the little, and just put it. It will go on top of a shelf in the toy room.
Yeah,
and
that'll
kind of be a way to display all that stuff. But I want to get one for work. I want to have one that's just got the Jaws things in it.
Put different tattoo designs in there.
Exactly.
Like you have to, whatever one you get, that's what you're getting. I love it.
Yeah. This is cool. They're not super expensive. You can get them on Amazon. This is amazing.
One thing that when you showed me that you were getting that, you brought up, and I think this is a genius idea. We had to find a way to work it. Like you said, like this would be cool to have at your booth at events or like G-Fest and stuff like that. And I know like Marusan does a similar one for like their stuff. It's not like that, but it's kind of a blind bag. Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
We got to figure out a way to make that work. I mean, I'll get some of your artwork. To do it. Like maybe it's even like little things like you could win like 50% off, and then or you can win a Maragacha, or you can win something like, I don't know what it
or pay double. There's one pay double.
Yes.
I just think it's like
go get Jake a drink. Yeah.
I just think like for your setup,
even
if you weren't using it as a part of like a gimmick or something, having it at your setup would just look good in your setup.
It would look cool.
I'm not telling you what to do. I just think they're cool.
No, I've been trying to think. Like honestly, I've been racking my brain since you said that. To like, but I was thinking like, how would I make it like where it would
like
enhance
interactive
the experience, not just be like eye candy, which it absolutely would be really cool.
Well, like I mean, what if you just bought a bunch of actual gotchas and filled the balls with random whatever you can get on the websites at the current time, any like kaiju, and it would be like a blind bag basically.
Yeah. And obviously like at G-Fest, there'd be so many, it'd almost be like maybe if you spend $50 or something, like you get a go at the, I don't know, or like we just randomly pick people that we like that like, you know what, you need a gotcha ball right now.
Play the gotcha machine. Yeah, it would just it'd be fun.
Cool.
Two more things, Jay, and both of these I got from Toku Toy Town.
I know these are awesome pickups.
These are you. Yeah. So I that Ultraman train set that we got a couple months back, it's amazing, right?
Yeah.
And it just makes me think of like Christmas time, like a train set. Mm-hmm. And then I was watching Tokyo Toy Bonsai, which I love to watch. He's literally one of my favorite.
Love you, Jeremy.
Literally one of my favorite YouTube channels. Before I went to Japan, I was watching so much of it. And in one episode, he goes to like a flea market with some friends in Japan, and he finds one of the things I'm going to show off here. And I was like, well, I need that. I need that, especially now that I have the train. I was like, I need these two things to be together. And so we looked for it and we found it. And it's a dancing Ultraman.
Love that.
Yeah. I mean, I was kind of like, it's like Ultraman. I've loved Ultraman for a while, but like my sort of obsession right now is clearly like we went to Japan, Ultraman's everywhere. And like, it is kind of weird seeing like Ultraman Christmas stuff. I don't know why that's. It's just it makes complete sense to me. But I was like a dancing Ultraman Santa Claus. I have to have it. Look at Balton taking a nap here, and then you got Pigmon taking a nap over here. That's amazing.
Ridiculous.
This is just awesome. Look, there's Santa Ultraman on a sleigh, and so I needed this to go with the train so I can decorate for Christmas this year. And here he is. I haven't put batteries in him yet.
Okay.
I hope he works. So
he'll work.
I'm a little nervous, but
he'll work.
Yeah, it's amazing. I'm sure he moves and everything, but this is one of my favorite things that we've gotten in a long time. It is just so weird. It's awesome. It also feels super minty. Like it feels brand new.
I think it's gonna work.
It had the instructions and all that. Like it's in good condition.
If the train worked, he's gonna work.
Yeah, I figured. But to go with that and to go with the Christmas thing, while we were looking for that, we found this. we found a little Ultraman Christmas tree, and this was still sealed with the original tape, Jay. I don't know if you
That's
noticed
amazing.
that when you got it,
No.
but it had the original yellow as fuck tape on it, and it's like this. We found a lot of these. It's just a little Christmas tree. You can see it here, and it comes with 4 like plastic ornaments, Ultraman and Kanagon, just like random, and you kind of pop them out of they're like attached to a little tray, pop them out, hang them, and then if you want, you can cut these out for more.
That's awesome. I didn't even know that.
Well, part of me is like, maybe we should order another one of these.
Yeah,
because I want to keep the packaging, but I kind of want to cut them out. But yeah, like it's got little things you can pop out, and
nice little Red King there.
Yeah,
so cool.
it's really cool. It's just a little Christmas tree. It's got all the guys on it, and
little alien guts there. Okay, yeah, man,
dude, it's awesome.
I love that.
So yeah, so when Christmas comes this year, I'm set, dude. I got an Ultraman Christmas tree, an Ultraman train set, and a Santa Claus Ultraman, and I'm so happy with these. Are such fun pickups, dude.
I mean, you're gonna have to have an Ultraman room pretty soon.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. It's already getting crazy. But that's my pickups, man. That's let me make sure. Yeah, that's my pickups this week.
I love it, man. The train set when it came in, I was blown away with how cool it was, and I've had a very similar feeling when I saw the Dancing Ultraman come in. Yeah. I think that's it's very cool.
It's awesome. Yeah, it is very cool. But
cool.
That's what we got. Jay, do we have any we got news?
We have a little news.
It's the Monster Island news for you. It's everything about kaiju from that Monster Island crew. There are others that do it and they're okay to choose, but there's only one super trusted, amazingly handsome Monster Island crew. Can you believe they're doing that to the Monsterverse? You missed another Anraku lottery, that's the worst. You didn't hear about all those exclusives, no, you're not cursed. You just need another source for news and you'll find out first. Oh yeah, the Monster Island moves for you. It's everything about kaiju from that Monster Island crew.
My buddy's joining me. Yeah, we got some news, man. Not a ton, but some stuff that's pretty darn cool. Let me add stage here. Let's go. Okay, so let's start off with a little Godzilla news before we get into the toys. This was really cool. This is kind of Godzilla news, general Godzilla news, also / con news, because this affects G-Fest. And this news broke, and we got it from our good buddies over at KAIJU United, that the Shiro Honda documentary is going to have its North American premiere at G-Fest this year. We don't have a day and time where it's going to be. Is it going to be at the Pickwick? Is it going to be on premise during the festival? Who knows? But
hopefully it's going to be in the vendor room. In the vendor room, projected on a wall.
Yes, what a premiere!
We see it.
What a premiere! But I thought that was worth mentioning because that is very cool. I know we mentioned this on a couple episodes ago about when the details were kind of coming out about it. But awesome stuff, and I am excited. I don't know if I'll be able to see it because of the vendor stuff, unless it's at a late night showing or something. But I hope the people that do, hope this we get a good kind of report from it. But very cool stuff.
Yeah, I'm very into this.
Me too.
I am bummed that we're probably not going to see it. But
yeah,
I mean, if it's premiering, that means hopefully not too long after it will be available some other.
This has SRS written all over it.
Oh, dude, if you give me a fucking VHS of this, that would be amazing.
I love it.
Cool.
No, I think that's going to happen. But let's manifest that into reality, please.
100%.
So let's talk about some toy releases, and we got some cool stuff. I have that's literally from 6 episodes ago.
Yeah,
but
it pops up every episode, and I love all 3 of them.
I do have an Enka Vinyl thing in here, so there's a tie. Okay, so this is a follow up to last 2 weeks ago when they announced the Toei, they announced Aka Ranger and the Toei Retro series, and we have details. So this is the painted version. Classic Aka Ranger. And this bad boy is going to be up for pre-order at the end of the month through the end of July. and we should be able to get it. If you're in Japan, you can go to the 1/6 Project stores, the Medicom stores, but we should be able to order this through a proxy service on Medicom site. So I think this is something that will be attainable. So I'm very excited about that, to go with my line Maru and my Kamen Rider and all my other kind of tokusatsu heroes done in this scale from Medicom. So I'm super pumped.
Yeah, very cool.
And this will be the only Sentai thing that I own outside of my bootleg. No, actually I have mine's not a bootleg. It's a Popey, like 70s Aka Ranger. And that's all I have. But so I love it. At least I'm consistent. So outside of that, okay, I got to ask you this. Why can't we do this in our country? So how cool is this? So Hankyu, who is a like men's clothing store, department store, whatever, they are having their spring and summer theme or collaboration. Oh, it's with Subaraya and Ultraman, and it's about, the theme is we can be heroes, and it's all about Ultraman and Ultraman monsters. So you go into these men's clothing stores, and you can enter lotteries to win Marusan 450s that are exclusive to this event, and then some Max Toy Japan stuff. And these are all really freaking cool. But it's, like I said, it's with a department store over there that's, they're doing this whole big seasonal theme with Ultraman. It's amazing.
Dude,
I'm so jealous.
When are we going to be able to get that Kohl's exclusive Titanosaurus?
Yes. Oh my gosh. It's like, I'm going to Neiman's today. They got some really good Spectre Man.
Dude, JC Penney.
Are those still around? Anyway, so the cool thing is they had Marusan's doing 5, and these already happened. Like, these lotteries happened. They ended yesterday, but they had these 5. All of these are 450s. It's an Ultraman, a Garamon, a Busca, a King Joe, and a Goro. And they're all this kind of dark sparkle, clear with like the glitter, and they're really stunning looking.
Yeah.
So, and they're 450s. They're big. They're great. And then
I
Max
love
Toy
that
Japan,
Ultraman. I love the clear Ultraman. He looks so good.
yeah, and it almost has like a rose gold tint to it.
Yeah.
Kind of like Garamon's legs there.
Yep.
Very cool. And then the Ultraman and Ultra 7 and Garamon from Max Toy Japan, they almost have this, like, I'm not going to say pewter. Like, if you really look at really close, almost they look like they were carved. And they're very cool. And the King Joe's is really cool, slick black color. I thought all these colorways were great, and they kind of fit in with, like, they're at a men's fashion store, department store. I don't know, really cool stuff. And it just made me jealous of, like, I wish, like, we did cooler stuff like this, where things are not, it doesn't have to just be like, oh, that makes total sense. Like, you can kind of force things together, and it's still super cool and exclusive.
Yeah. You also don't see a lot of those kind of colorways, those like mainly black goth looking. You just don't get a ton of it. So that's great. I
thought it was great. So kudos to these guys.
Yeah.
And after that, so some more toys here. I'm just going to rapid fire these. These are some really cool things that popped up. So Enka Vinyl, this bad boy's up for pre-order, and it ends at the end of the month. So go to enkavinyl.com. They have an on-site proxy, or you can go to your favorite proxy service and order it through there. The Mecha Godzilla 93. I'm going to go ahead and say, screw Neo Player One and their $5,000 Mecha Godzilla 93. This is the best Mecha Godzilla 93 ever done.
I agree with you, and I was on Enka Vinyl's site the other day, and I was getting so bummed that I kind of wasn't paying attention and missed out on that Space Godzilla. It's like completely sold out, But did you see what's coming next after the Mecha Godzilla?
Oh, yes, I saw.
I don't know if you have that in here, or if
I don't. I was waiting until we got the painted one, but the King Ghidorah is.
It looks cool.
Oh yeah, that thing's going to be a very impressive thing, and I know I'm going to go. I have the 54, and I did pre-order the Space Godzilla and this guy, but I have to. They had the 62 as well that I gotta find which one I want, but I don't know. I think they're so cool, and I've talked a lot about it down here. Yeah, it's a great line, the Godzilla Parade line. Another line / character that we've talked about and we love and is Mammoth King from Tomonosuke, and that's and I just love this one. This was an event exclusive. This was a 10 units. Like, it was not something that is going to be mass produced. but this crazy, wacky vampire color that comes with the cape and like a little like mini, I think it was like a little Menko card or a poster thing. It came with stuff. This thing is freaking amazing. Like, how cool would that look on any shelf?
I mean, I think this is my favorite colorway I've seen of this figure. It looks so good.
It's awesome. And I mean, these things big too. I mean, you remember seeing it decon.
They're huge,
13 inches tall, and I mean, it packs a punch. Hey, we were talking about Return of Ultraman. Bullmark, their Hakuba Gallery exclusive. They're doing they're doing an Ultraman Jack from Return of Ultraman, and this one is cool because it is going to be the classic removable retro style removable helmet. So hey, this is one that as you watch more Ultraman, Return of Ultraman, you can get you an Ultraman Jack.
Yeah, I might need it.
Very cool. And then another exclusive that came out in the Ultraman world from Max Toy Japan, Ultraman Leo and Taisho, who's one of my favorite.
Love that guy. He looks insane.
Sculpts they're great. But this is from the department store or the store Arts and was it Arts and DBA or something? I can't remember.
DBA is what it says on the screen.
Yeah. So it's a different store exclusive. And but you can order this if you use a proxy for Rakuten Japan. Their online presence is on Rakuten, so you can order these guys there. You know, they come as a set, $80 for the set. That's cheap, and they're awesome. And this is one of my favorite Taisho colorways, and there's a ton of them, but this is a great one. Yeah,
nice.
Our good buddy Sweaty Vinyl Michael, he has a lot of Taisho, and and they have.
I'm interested. I want to see more. He's so crazy looking.
Oh, so crazy, 100%. So we have more toys. So Bullmark and the kind of classic Godzilla, they call it Godzilla 50 style. This one was exclusive to the 70s Toy Store, which is a Japanese e-com site. They do have a lot of cool stuff. I've actually got a couple of their exclusives. They did for Baragon and some other things. We've talked about them on the show. But this is a really cool kind of bright orange, fully burning type Godzilla that is up there now, and they're going to be shipping out at the end of the month. So go in there now, and I think you can do through proxy. So really cool stuff.
Yeah, I like the colors on that.
I do too. It's bright. I mean, that you used to like the muted greens and brown so much of that design. Doing something just totally wacky is cool. You know, I feel like it's been since Singular Point toys that we've talked about any like Good Smile, like the Nindoroids. But they released a new Shin Godzilla, and I think it's really cool because this bad boy comes with like, you can change out the color of the tail and the dorsal plates from like red to purple. He has like fire breath and the purple laser radioactive breath from Shin Godzilla. He has a lot of different like heads and stuff that comes with. Like, it's really, really cool. I think this is one of the cooler Nindoroids that I've ever seen.
Yeah. I pre-ordered it.
Oh, nice.
It's amazing.
Awesome.
It's so, as soon as I saw it, I was like, yep, that belongs in my collection.
Yeah.
I love the like, he also comes with like an explosion, like a fire, the red, and it just looks so
where he's
good.
Like looking down and it looks like,
I like all the poses you can put this guy in. It's so good. Yeah.
And you think of those pieces and you don't necessarily think of all like variety, right? And and this one just had two. It's almost like too many. Like you might want to buy like one or two,
exactly,
or three instead of just one.
My first thought was like, this fucking thing is going to look so good in pictures with like other toys. It's so animated. It looks great.
Yeah. You put it with like your Lit Goji and Godzilla Land. Or
it honestly looks like a Shinji drawing. You know?
It does.
Like, it really does. Yeah.
Yeah, I could. If that was on one of the pages of his encyclopedias or books, like it would wouldn't even stick out. I had to put this one in there because we did the first two. Our Prime One Studio New Empire. If you know, I know you guys all got Godzilla and Shimo. I know you got Scar King and Kong. So now you can complete the triumvirate with your Mothra from New Empire. This one's only $2,000, so this one's way cheaper.
Only $2,000.
The ultimate diorama master line, but Hey, I'm glad people are buying this. If they are, but
are they? Do you think they are?
I don't know. I'm sure we'll see some pictures.
I don't love all the like weird rocks and whatever that is. It's like they had to put something to support the wings, but I do not like that at all. Like it, I mean, it is cool if you like Mothra, but there's some weird stuff going on with this thing.
This is a piece that like I think would look cool if you had all three and it was like in there with it, you know? Like, but like by itself, like there's just so much better Mothra stuff.
Right.
Maybe not New Empire Mothra, but like other Mothra stuff that's not $2,000 in my opinion. But speaking of 2024, a little bit more budget friendly. You can go to Star Ace Toys right now or like anywhere and get the new and pre-order the new Godzilla 2024. So New Empire, Evolved, the deluxe and standard editions. I think the deluxe, it's just the light up feature. But, you know, like I said, Star Ace Toys, whatever, $300 or so, bam, you're going to get yourself a really good X Plus Star Ace quality Godzilla Evolved for those that partake in that particular Godzilla.
Hey, I like that design.
Me too.
Like it's still a little weird seeing like such a slim and fit Godzilla.
Yeah. He has to run a lot, man.
But I love the pink spines. I think they look really cool. So
I do too.
That's a cool. I was really happy to see that when it popped up.
100%. I love the pink. I love the Evolved stuff. It fit the color palette of that movie. But yeah, I mean, but look all the running he did, man. He lost some weight. I mean, him and Kong were like running and jumping and all that other stuff. So a lot of toys there. But I wanted to spend some time on this one because I think this was really cool. Now, you and I have had the privilege of going to a couple events where, you know, Marusan is set up, and in the States, a lot of it is Subaraya or their reintroduction of the Marumon line. And that was, you know, in the late 60s and stuff when they created their own characters that didn't have any licensing, the ones they own. And they have a huge roster, you know, the King Godresses and all over the world. And I love it when they come back and release new ones. And these are three that I haven't seen them do with their modern interpretations of recently. So they might have, and I just missed it because there's so much, but these three are really cool. And what I did was I wanted to show you, like I put the actual vintage ones below it. So you can kind of see the modern adaptation. So the ones below the smaller images are the actual originals from the late 60s. So you have Kaibok and Rodra King and Bella. These are awesome. I love them. And I've fought going down the Marumon rabbit hole because it's extensive, but also like you could go modern and vintage is very expensive. But these are going to be at the June pop-up. And then of course there's going to be some brand new the big Marumon finger puppets, which are so cool.
Yeah, I love
and they're doing some new ones. These are all, I think all 5 of these are their first time in finger puppet form. So they're really cool stuff.
Yeah, these are great. And I especially like, sometimes I even hate seeing this kind of thing, because it just makes me want to collect the vintage and like how good that would look on a shelf.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So good. The Sea Monster series that they recently did almost got me. That was so close.
I really still want to get some of those. I was looking at photos from like the last event they were at to see what they're charging for them, and they're just $100 a piece.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna get some of those. Like, it's like, how do you pick? It's like, I was sitting here, and I was like, all right, there's like what, 8 different Sea Monster series figures. And I'm like, well, I can't get all 8. It's $800. So you're sitting here like, all right, well, what if I got 3 or what if I got 4? And you're like, then you're looking through them all. And it's so crazy because like, some of the kaiju are really similar. So it's like, oh, well, do I want all the ones that look really similar? Or do I want it? It's such a fucking hard. They're all amazing.
Yeah. So this will be something I have at G-Fest, but I won't be on the site. But I got the Titanosaurus. I got a couple of the Titanosaurus Sea Monster colorway. And the colorway is stunning, dude. Like it does, like it looks vintagey and cool. I think if we would have seen them in Japan, like if they would have been at like Han Shibuya or something, and they would have had all of them there lined up, I would have been hard for me to not take some.
Yeah, I get it.
But anyway, so I thought this was really cool stuff that Marumon is or Marusan, I should say, is doing with the Marlon. Oh, and then I'll take that off.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that's kind of the toy news. A lot of fun little, like, I won't say little things, but like, it wasn't like we had, basically since Monsterpalooza ended, there hasn't been any gigantic events, no hobby rounds or Superfests or Wonderfest. So it was a lot more just kind of like smaller events or pop-ups or just releases have finally hit. So cool stuff.
Yeah, awesome stuff. I know, that's the end of the news?
Forever. There'll be no more news.
I want to mention one thing, but I only want to spend like 2 minutes on it. And I want to give a warning. Like if you're trying to go into Godzilla versus Kong completely spoiler free,
yes,
maybe skip forward like 2 minutes, because I want to mention this because it's out there and it's kind of crazy if it's true, but it is a big spoiler if it's true. So skip like 2 minutes and we're going to talk about it. Okay, now that those people are gone.
Screw them.
So like Matthew Modine, who's in the movie, great actor, made a post about finishing up his part on the film, and he tagged it Godzilla versus Space Godzilla. And he also apparently somewhere else posted like a photo of like the original Godzilla versus Space Godzilla. I don't know if it was on.
Does he know what movie he's in?
I don't know what the deal is. And I mean, everybody was already, saying that they just based on the title and the kind of aesthetics, people are like, oh, it's Gigan or Space Godzilla. It's what people are jumping to.
Or both.
And it looks like maybe it could be. He also deleted that post. That post got deleted. Yeah. So I feel like if it weren't true, they would have been like, oh, whatever. But I can see that they were like, hey, dude, you're leaking something. Cut that out. So it's possible we're getting a Legendary Pictures Monsterverse Space Godzilla. And fuck it, I would rather get a known kaiju than a brand new kaiju in these movies, especially after how abysmal the last two new kaijus we got were.
I think so. I agree with you. For this one, I do think that would help like reestablish that. I think a lot of that has to do with because Scar King and Shimo were not great.
Yeah. I just want something to be excited about. And I love Space Godzilla, and we haven't seen Space Godzilla since like 1994, whatever.
And that one, I think, we've talked about this literally since like our second ever show. Yeah. It's one of our favorite designs.
Yeah.
I'm okay with them doing a space cosmic Godzilla that is done in a totally different way. That is like not even like reminiscent of that, but still Space Godzilla, but like they go really in a different direction with it.
Yeah.
Within reason. Like I'm okay with that. Cause I normally I like when they bring in original stuff. We need new kaiju. But they gotta like get that bad taste out of the mouth of Scar King and and the funny I love like they're not spoilers because this is all just headcanon and people like saying like okay, well, hey, like Shimo's still around, like it's like his pet now, like you gotta kill it somehow, like will that help establish the new villain and all this type of stuff. I'm like, hey, just like who knows what's gonna happen, man. Who
knows?
I think Space Godzilla it's not going to surprise me if that's the choice.
Sure. Yeah. But listen, I didn't want to spend too much time on that. I just wanted to, I know a lot of people probably wouldn't even mention it because it's who knows if it's true. But let's move on here.
I hope he's trolling us, though. I do hope he's trolling us. And it's,
I hope we get a big announcement really soon. Jay, so you asked me to watch a movie for tonight.
Well, we watched a movie.
We watched a film today, oh boy. It's to the part of our show that's not about toys. We didn't research this particular piece of media because there's a ton of podcasts that'll read from Wikipedia. But we'll tell you what we honestly think, like how Orochi's grand and Yonguri stinks. We'll tell you that Inframan can change your very life. Pretty sure Jake wants Princess Dragonmon to be his wife. We know some people simply won't want to hear us, but they're probably the same ones that like Mega Gear us. Whoa! We watched a film today, oh boy. Let's just hope it's not Mega Gear us. Yeah, let's hope it's not Mega Gear us. Mega Gear us. is so dumb.
Megaguirus is so dumb. We watched Warlords of Atlantis, a movie I had never heard of, did not research, did not look anything up. I said, I'm going to go in cold.
Yeah.
I was actually kind of surprised that it was not a Japanese film.
Yeah.
And we watched it, and then I looked up the poster, and I was like, the poster is amazing, and nothing like what the movie is, which I always love when that happens.
Yeah.
Before we get into it, Jay, is this a movie? Like, was this your first time seeing this? Or it was.
Yeah.
Well, what brought this to your attention?
Oh, one word: toys. I was going to the news.
Toys.
So recently, like this is like they're on the second lottery. Anraku Ansaku.
What?
Yes, Anraku Ansaku has done two monsters. From this.
Hey, 2 of the 15 monsters in this fucking movie.
They did 2, and I was like, I really want that toy. And then I was like reading it. I did not recognize the creature. I did not. I was like, okay, even as stylized as Anraku is, and I was like, oh, this thing is from a movie.
Okay,
and
so you just saw the toy and were like, oh, what is this? And then looked it up.
And then I was like, then I saw Doug McClure. I was like, all at the Earth's core, land that time forgot, people that time forgot. Like now you're talking my stuff, man. But no, I'd never seen this one. This was not one that was kind of in that that rotation of films I watched as a kid that were that it should have been. Yeah, and there's some reasons why, because it's a film of many names. But that was my first time seeing it last week. So.
Cool.
But it was all because of Medicom and Anraku Ansaku.
All right. Well, we're going to look at those toys a little later, but
actually pretty soon.
Yeah. That's probably probably most of the talking that we're going to do is probably going to be about the toys. I feel like the movie itself is
Well, here we go.
Listen.
We'll go right here and look at this.
Oh, you got 10 facts.
Fun fact number 10. Anraku Ansaku have produced toys of both the Mogdon and the Zarg.
Well, these are the two best monsters in the movie. Yeah. Like to be 100% honest. Hey, real quick before we get through the facts, like let's give our feelings on this movie real quick. If I would have seen this when I was a kid, I would have been obsessed with it. I was at like it is silly, and it's like, you know, there's some stop motion, there's some like it's not some the greatest puppet work. But when I knew I was gonna like this movie was when they go down in the like submersible, and out of nowhere a monster pops its head in, and I was like, oh, and like it kind of took me by surprise, and it's like popping its head up, and they have to electric. I was like, this is fucking insane. Yeah. I was like, I'm into this. There's a lot of monsters in this movie, which I was really excited. Like a lot of weird, just randomly, it's like, oh, there's a new monster, and then it's gone. You don't see it again, and it was very fun. It is very weird and very silly. It's not like gonna keep you thinking or anything like that. The craziest haircuts I've ever seen in my life are in this movie. Yes. But it was a very fun watch.
Oh, I had everything you said 100%. Like I enjoyed this movie way more than I had any right to enjoy it. It made me so happy. I mean, it's crazy because like there's a ton of monsters. There's like the plot is exactly what you think it was. Like it's simple, but yet when it tries to go complex, it makes no sense whatsoever. And it's not a unusual riff on like the Atlanteans, coming from outer space, but there's some twists in there and stuff. I think the miniature work and some of the set pieces are great, especially like knowing this is that British American co-production late 70s stuff that that we saw in Land That Time Forgot and At the Earth's Core. I think it's vastly superior to At the Earth's Core, and I love that novel. But and also like there's some legit acting prowess in this. Like this is like real actors and actresses in this, like that did things. And,
the dude from Cheers.
We'll talk about him in a bit. I mean, one of the greatest performers in like early Hollywood musicals, you know, since Charisse is in it. It's ridiculous. But I just honestly, like, I think this is the perfect movie, kind of like Super Inframan to some degree, or Yamato Sakura, like, but in that British American co-production, late 70s vibe. That's like, you watch it and just like, if you watch it and have a bad time, then you're a bad person. You're just bad.
You know, Jay, there's like a whole genre of movies that I think like we kind of overlook. You know, in 2025, we live in a world where there's like a lot of remakes and stuff like, and you know, that's there's nothing new to that. But I often, you know, a lot of times when a remake happens, people are like, they're remaking this or they're remaking this. I always, anytime I watch movies like this, I think like, this should be being remade right now. Like, like it's great and it's fun, but it's nobody's like looking at this movie as like a sacred thing. And I'm like, man, just picture like how much fun, like we don't have this genre of movie doesn't really exist anymore. You just named like 6 movies, like all the Sinbad movies, like Jason and the Argonauts. Like there's a whole thing of movies. And I used to watch a lot of those as a kid. Yeah. They could be remaking all of these, and like they don't have to stick exact. They can be silly, just like an Atlantis plot with monsters in it. Like make it. Why not? Like it would be so cool.
And a very fun cast of characters. You know, none of these characters are written in a way that they're like deep and complex, but you like and hate them like you're supposed to, right? They're good characters. They're not like deep, and they're acted exactly how they should be, and it's not offensive in any way. Like there's no like, oh my god, this acting is so bad I can't go on another scene. But there's also like, you know, like you give them some leeway as they're doing it. But I don't know, like I said, I watched this movie and I don't know if I was in just a really good mood, but I'm just like, oh my god, I love this. Oh my god, these flying piranha things. Oh my god, they're amazing. Oh my gosh, like why is there another monster just randomly jumping out of, like, I love it.
Yeah, that monster that kind of like while the piranha thing is happening, there's a whole other monster that like attacks and you only see its head, and then you never they shoot it and you never see it again. And I'm like, wait, well, what was that? That's a completely
like
different
anaconda looking thing. Like
I mean, as soon as I saw that first monster, I was like, oh, I'm into it. Like this is gonna be weird. There's there's a big octopus who just ate the whole crew, and it's like I was like, yeah, I'm into it. This is gonna be fun, and it is. It's like you don't even have to like really pay attention to this movie if you don't want to, and it's gonna make the same amount of sense to you. It's literally like guys are in Atlantis, they want to get out, but the Atlantis people are shady.
And they're aliens that are, you know, whatever. The best part about this movie, and like that I think is just so silly and it's so funny, is obviously. Oh yes, of course. The Atlantean haircuts are amazing, and all their names start with AT. You know, like that. Okay, so you have this plot like that's pretty straightforward. Like they have to get down to Atlantis, yada yada yada. Yeah. But they try to add some complexity by like the diving bell and using this weird pressurization where you don't have to have a bottom on the bell to go down, and you know all this science. Like why? You don't have to explain in this movie. You don't have to explain how the diving bell gets down, you know, a few fathoms, like literally. But like just the fact they added that, and then when like, and obviously there's some scenes in the diving bell when they're crashing down and going back up, and it adds to it because like I said, now you get this dinosaur that just rips through the plesiosaur that just rips through the bottom. It's so crazy.
Let me tell you the funniest thing in this movie. I literally laughed out loud at this every time it happened, but they have a telephone in the diving bell. And it's like just a regular telephone with a regular ring, and they're just like the dinosaur attacks, and all of a sudden the phone rings and they're like, hello? I'm like, you're
a little busy now.
You're like hundreds of feet under the ocean and you get a telephone. It's
with no bottom on it. Yeah, so there's just things like that are silly and don't make any sense. Like, I mean, the great double cross at the end, that actually got me. Got me.
I liked that because you kind of think the movie's over, and then there's the double cross, and you're like, and then the octopus comes back too, and you're like, holy shit! There's like 3 endings to this movie.
Oh no!
I like, and then like it's like kind of ends on a funny moment where like 2 of the double crosses are like, all right, you got us, and it's like,
then they have to like swim back. I mean, what?
Yeah, it's like, hey, how about kill those guys? They just tried to shoot you.
Oh yeah, and 100%. And but I actually thought like the captain, like I thought it was so like one of my favorite parts was like he was like this, a gruff, like kind of like an old salty sea captain, and he played that part like right out of central casting to a T. And then then he does the double cross. I'm like, oh yeah, and he's like, I'm the guy that shot him. And then I love like his death is like he gets crushed by the giant statue at the end. I'm like, which I don't know how they pulled that up. That thing would have been way too big. It would have crushed the boat. But anyway, like I just thought like it was so like there were so many funny parts and charming parts and weird parts. I don't know. I love this era of like all the ones you mentioned. I love that era of film, and I think this one stands out as being just super fun.
And it must not have. Sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No.
I was just gonna say this movie must not have been on TV a lot because my grandfather, like at a really young age this, like he's the one who got me into watching Godzilla and stuff. And he was like a big Harryhausen guy, and we would watch the Sinbad. We would watch movies that are identical to this movie, but not this movie. So it makes me wonder like, oh, I wonder if he knew this movie existed, or if maybe this movie wasn't really on rotation on TV that much, because literally never heard of it. And it fits perfectly into all that stuff.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of like, as a kid, like perusing VHS stores and Blockbuster and the mom and pops and stuff. And, I can remember seeing like The Land That Time Forgot and At the Earth's Core and those VHSs and grabbing them because there was like, okay, that's clear monster. That is that's a dinosaur. Like, bam, I'm gonna grab it. This one, I'm curious, like what I think if it was the poster art, I would have been hooked.
Yeah.
Like, the Warlords of Atlantis, like maybe it didn't just have that same ring and vibe to it, and I just like overlooked it in that, as opposed to some of the other ones that were like, oh, this is a dinosaur. Yes. So I don't know. But yeah, I'd never seen it. I'd never heard of it. But when I watched it, I felt like, oh, this is something that I probably watched a million times, but I just, whatever. It felt very homey in a very like safe place, a nostalgic place, and with some just wacky stuff. I loved it. I was so, this one I highly recommend people to watch it if you're, unless you're like, I only watch like high art. But.
No, if they're watching this show, it's on Tubi. It's on Tubi for free. Yeah, go on there. It's like an hour and a half. It's a quick watch.
It's such a quick watch. It goes by so fast. That's the one. So that's the one thing. If you go, and I know you're a Letterboxd guy, so if you go and you read a lot of the reviews, not just for this one, but for like kind of that quartet of Doug McClure movies, that's the same director and the same producer. And the one thing that is pretty consistent is, for better or for worse, whether it makes sense or not, there's not a lot of downtime in these films. Like the plot goes like, like it is like, if you don't have a huge attention span, this movie's okay. Cause like
there's a monster every 10 minutes in this.
Yeah, 100%. It's like Yamato Takeru, except like it's at least somewhat on the same genre. But it literally is like, there is not a lot of like boring dead time. It's like right through. So it feels to me the narrative velocity there. It's like, it goes by really quick.
Yeah, I agree. Jay, you got some,
we already talked about this. So, these are awesome. The first 2 colorways are that kind of metallic blue, and they just those are now the Mogdon, the millipede catfish looking monster.
Yeah, you never see it. You never see its feet in the movie. I don't think. Do you? So I wonder if there are photos or behind the scenes photos, or I wonder if Anraku had to kind of make that up, because I would have assumed it didn't have feet. Yeah, it looked like serpentine to me.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, a fish-like or whatever. But, so that one is actually like, that one has been produced and is out in the wild. Like I got to go track that down and get it. The Zarg, that lottery is over, and it's been over for a bit, but we're waiting for those to hit.
Okay.
And then the green one just ended a couple weeks ago.
Wow.
The lottery. So that one,
we're gonna have to get some of these on the.
Oh my gosh! Like, I mean, I need an octopus from Anraku now, and some who knows what else. I need one of the Atlantean guards.
Let me say about this the scene with the Zarg. I thought it was really cool because it can like walk upright on walls.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really cool because it like slowly just like it gets to the wall and then it's like, nope. And it moves up the wall. And I thought that was really cool. But here's what was funny about that scene. They cut back to it a million times. There's other things happening while it's and it like never reaches the top of the wall. It's like it's been 10 minutes.
I don't know. How slow is he?
Is he not there? Well, he never makes it up the wall. And then they never knock it down or anything. No. It just becomes not a and it just becomes not a problem anymore. Yeah. It like cuts away and they're like, "Oh, we're good."
Yeah. Yeah, I love the two scenes where the Zarg eats Delphine's dad, and then where the little Irish guy gets eaten by the Mogdon. It's like I love like the classic like legs kicking out of the mouth on both of them.
That. Yeah, I loved when the Mogdon ate that guy. It was cool.
So that's like I said, I would not have recommended this if it wasn't for this is all on Anraku Ansaku. I'm glad the movie was fun, because if not, then we blame Anraku. Think what about it? Like he did this and we had to watch like like freaking Space Monster Wagmangwi again or something.
Right.
Okay, so this is something that I think is crazy. So this thing went through many different names. So, and I love the rationale. So they originally wanted it to be called Atlantis. And then that said, no, that's too similar to Atlantis, the Lost Continent. So somebody, the production company or whatever, said, we're going to call it the Seven Cities of Atlantis. And in fact, in Japan, you'll hear that referred to. Like I think Anraku says this is from the Seven Cities of Atlantis. But then they were worried that that's too similar than the Patrick Duffy medium vessel, The Man from Atlantis, which was a big flop, the TV show. So they're like, we don't want it associated with that. Atlantis stuff is out. Ugh. So let's change it to Warlords of the Deep. But this is only a year or so after The Deep came out. So they're like, oh, it's too close to that because obviously different styles. So then they finally combined the two and said, you know what? The perfect name is Warlords of Atlantis. So if you hear it called many things, it had levels here.
Yeah, but they thought all those were too similar. So then they named it something that's a combination of all of them. They ended up making it more similar to all three of the movies.
They should have just called it Warlords of Deep Atlantis. So anyway,
so funny.
You hear people call it many things. Because actually, the funny thing was, and I was looking at that article about the lottery for it from Anraku, and I was like, great. And I kept on searching for Seven Cities of Atlantis. I'm like, nope, not a movie. I'm like, oh man. And they're like, oh, that's what it was called for a split second. So very cool stuff. And the posters, guys, like there's a couple Warlords of Atlantis posters, and they're all great. They're all great.
Yeah, they are.
Okay, so this is cool. So we mentioned this. This is the fourth collaboration between the director, Kevin Connor, the producer, John Dark, and of course, the leading man, the star of stars, man with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, the great Doug McClure. The other three, At the Earth Score, I would say is probably known as being really bad. The Land That Time Forgot, I think, is probably remembered most fondly. And then The People That Time Forgot is probably like,
shit.
It could have been in the bad sequels thing.
This guy directed Motel Hell. Have you ever seen that?
I have not. No.
Oh man, it's amazing.
Okay,
I never would have guessed he was the same director.
Oh, I think there's going to be a few things in here, Jake, that you're going to be like, that people, not the director, but that people like, they also did that. Like, what the hell? So it's a pretty cool stuff. This film's connection to other like legitimate, like cinematic history is actually pretty shocking. But this is the first one not to be written by, or not to be based on an Edgar Rice Burroughs book.
Okay.
Yeah, At the Earth's Core was my favorite book as the Polluter series.
You know, I've never read any of these, but they're on my list now. I would really love to, and I think the only one of these that I've seen multiple times is the land.
Yeah.
The Land.
Oh, that's
forgot. And
right. Yeah,
but it's also one of those movies that has a poster that's way better than the movie.
100%. Oh, I remember that submerged T-Rex. Like I could literally one of the memories of childhood that I'll never forget. So cool stuff there. So number 7, hey, your Simpsons guy, Troy McClure, was half based on Doug McClure. Confirmed. And also I read an article. It was him and Troy Donahue, who was like a beefcake type actor back in the day. But he that Doug McClure was very aware of this, and that there's an interview with his daughter that he loved the show. And he thought this was one of the funniest parodies, and he absolutely Doug McClure was a fan of Troy McClure. So
that's amazing.
I think it's amazing. And it's the As Seen On. I mean, you think of all the stuff that Doug McClure's in, from westerns to you name it. Very cool stuff. Oh, hey, here you go. You're a Star Wars guy. You have Star Wars tattooed on you.
I am. Yeah.
But Peter Cushing was originally supposed to play a Traxon, the main guy, but he was, I forgot what film he was on that ran over. But of course, it would have been the first Peter Cushing and Doug McClure thing, because they were at the Earth's Core together. So
okay.
The Daniel Massey over there, the famous British actor, took over that role instead of Peter Cushing. And I have a feeling if it would have been Cushing, maybe that role would have been expanded on and been bigger.
It would have
last minute replacement.
Yeah, it would have had to be.
So that was kind of cool. Okay, so number 5, I think one of the underutilized characters.
This fucking guy.
Atmir was actually played by Bond villain, Michael Goddard, who was obviously a well-received, well-noted British actor. But yeah, he had a role, and I felt like you gave him this role, and it literally he had nothing to work with there, and he was just like, go to this way, go here.
It's weird. I was like, this is the most. I thought this multiple times watching this movie. I was like, this guy is the most non-threatening guy you can make a villain. He just the way they make him look.
Yeah,
I was like, I don't buy this.
Yeah,
at one moment it was so.
Oh, to me, and like I said, in me, the whole time I'm thinking he is obviously he's an Atlantean, but he is I hate my job. Come here. And then even when he was when he's setting the bombs off in the water at the very end, he's just meh. Oh, they got away, boss. Sorry. He to me is he's checked out. He has another job lined up.
He doesn't.
But so in my head, he was perfect because that's what it's like. Yeah. But obviously a really skilled actor and stuff, and that's just funny that that's the role he got. Okay, the next 2 I think you're gonna dig. So 2 people really involved in the special effects. We'll talk first about the guy who did the puppets, the great Roger Deakins. And this guy was nominated for When the Dinosaurs Ruled the Earth, another movie that kind of fits in this genre.
Yeah.
He was if you'd have told me When Dinosaurs Ruled the Earth had an Oscar nomination, I would have been say what?
Slow year.
I know, slow year. But this amazing puppet designer, he was the one solely responsible for designing and creating the infamous, famous chest bursting scene in Alien.
That's amazing. Would never have thought that.
It's Roger. Yeah, I mean there is a direct link between chest bursting aliens and the Mogdon. they're related. They're the same.
I can kind of see it.
Yeah. So he's legit an amazing creative creature maker and special effects. But compared to the director of special effects on this, he's a nobody, because the visual effects were done by John Richardson.
Oh,
he won an Academy Award. He won one for Aliens, so the later one. But he also worked on all the Harry Potter ones, and he was nominated. So you have 86. He won one. He was nominated all the way, 30 years later in 2011 for the last Harry Potter film. But he worked on Bond, Aliens, Harry Potter, Starship Troopers, The Omen, Men in Black 2. Like, he was the director for special effects on a lot of these. This guy is like a special effects legend, and this was a film that he did.
That's that's impressive. That's a really nice filmography. Like, that's awesome.
Well, and I think a lot of I think we can joke about the silly looking puppets and stuff, but like I think a lot of the miniature work and the boat
Great
scenes
stuff.
and the diving belt will look really good. I think that was like, you could tell. And there were a lot of explosions and things going on.
Yeah.
But no joke, like legit people putting this crazy world of monsters together.
Love it.
And then number 2, how about this? This is definitely our first time in a thing that we see a picture of George W. and Laura Bush in a Why It Doesn't Monster Island thing. But the star of Singing in the Rain and Brigadoon and all these great musicals from the 50s, Sid Charisse, she played Axel, the other main one that tried to put the helmet on what's his name? Aitken, Charlie. But she was in 2006, before her passing, she was awarded a National Medal of Arts and Humanities by the President of the United States.
That's
regardless of who it is. And also in this movie. So crazy. Like, what is this movie? But number 1, dude, like this is a no-brainer. Like this is the whole movie. Like, I couldn't stop thinking about this. Dude, Cliff Clavin's in this movie.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy that's literally voiced every major animated hit of all time, and he's Cliff Clavin. He's in there battling sea monsters of all sorts, and Mogdons and octopus and Zargs and whatever. Hey, there's that little monster you're talking about that jumped out, grabbed his leg.
Oh yeah.
I can't get over it. Like, every time I see it, I'm just like, there's Cliff Clavin. There's Cliff Clavin.
I recognized his name at the credits in the beginning. He was one of the only names I recognized, as the movie was starting. And it's so funny because he probably has 6 lines of dialogue, and they're all in the last 5 minutes of the movie. It's like he almost doesn't say anything until they get back and the double crossing stuff starts to happen.
Yeah.
Or
he tells the little Irish guy to shut up before he gets eaten, like all that.
Yeah.
Like, that's literally it.
Yep.
No, I just, like, the whole time I'm just like, that's Cliff Clavin fighting Doug McClure and some puppets. Like, this is amazing. Like, where else are you going to see this? So that was that just made it so good. I just I don't know. This film, like, it makes me so happy. It is not good, but it is great. It is. I don't know. Like I said, it's a British American version of like Informant. I mean, that's how it makes me feel. It just makes me happy. And and there's toys now, and I've got to get them.
I want those toys. It's I haven't logged it on Letterboxd yet because I didn't know how to rate.
How do you rate something like that?
It's always hard to rate these kind of movies because it's like I would never say like, it's well made. It's kind of well made, but it's like.
I know what you mean.
Is it a good movie? I don't know. Like, did I have a lot of fun watching it? Yeah, I did. Yeah. So it's like, I don't know. It's hard to rate. So I'm gonna have to.
That's been my biggest challenge with like Letterboxd. I haven't done a lot of reviews. I've only I think I've rated lots of things, but like when I write the reviews, like it's hard because of films like this. There is entertainment and enjoyment, and there's like great movies and thought provoking, and there's like. And I try to put it back to what the movie is intended to do, right? Yeah. Like if you're watching a slasher film, it's supposed to scare you and gross you out and entertain you in that way. Mm-hmm. You're not going to write it in the same way you would like rate, Citizen Kane or, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest or whatever. Like it's just something like this is hard because it's like enjoyment level. It's a 4 out of 5,
sure,
but quality, writing, it's a 0.5 out of 5. Yeah. It's so hard, but that's also what's great about any type of art, right? Yeah. Like it's like it can do many things, and this is and this one definitely hits it hard on one element, and maybe not so well on the others.
It's definitely worth watching. Anybody who's listening, like you said, it's free on Tubi. Especially if you don't have anything to do or you just need to put something on in the background. It's in English, so it's not something you have to, if you're worried about subtitles, it's not subtitled. You can just watch it. Yeah, it was fun, man. You got anything else to say about this movie? Or?
No, I'm really looking forward to one day on pickups being able to show these toys off, because I mean, it's why did Anraku Ansaku decide to make the? I just don't know.
Well, because somebody watched the movie and was like, "Hey, here's some really cool underutilized kaiju,
and perfect for his
designs."
style too. For the style, for the Anraku style.
I'm gonna look it up and see how hard it is to find on VHS. Probably not that hard. That's what I want.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, if you got nothing else, we'll get out of here tonight, and shoot, I guess we'll be back in 2 weeks, maybe.
And maybe one more before G-Fest.
I was about to say, what is it in 2 weeks?
We are getting close.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we might do the G-Fest.
Well, I think there's like 3 weeks left, like 2.5 weeks left of this month, or 3. I don't know, dude.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, I think the Wednesday that you are flying into G-Fest would be
Is
our record. It'd be the
It's 2 shows
recording
from now. Okay.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy? Oh my gosh.
I am not prepared for G-Fest, dude. I'm not. I'm not. Cool. Well, we're gonna get out of here, and hey, we'll talk to you guys later. Please watch this movie.
Bye. And watch out for my gun.